Welcome to Team 5's presentation on entrepreneurship in the news. Team 5 is comprised of Noelle, Adrian, Justin, Daniel, and myself, Raquel. The news story that we're presenting to you today was written by W. Brett Wilson in the Financial Post on September 8, 2013, and is titled 8 Ways to Make Angel Investing Better in Canada. Brett Wilson is co-founder of First Energy Capital Corp., as well as sole owner of Prairie Merchant Corporation, a private investment bank. Incidentally, Mr. Wilson was awarded a Doctor of Laws honorary degree from Royal Roads University in the fall of 2010. The article we chose to share today outlines Brett Wilson's 8 principles that he follows that can help to increase the quality and quantity of angel investing opportunities in Canada. These principles are: look for a reason to say yes, focus on people first, do your homework, invest yourself, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, take a portfolio approach, focus on the long ball, and look for a reason to say yes. He says look for a reason to say yes twice because he believes that we need more angel investors willing to do this in order for Canada to move forward. This brings us to ENMN 398 course topics and what we chose to focus on. Daniel will speak to you about the importance of the pitch. Justin will talk about values with respect to environmental and social entrepreneurship. Noelle will then go into angel investor financing, and Adrian will compare angel investors to other types of financing.
Now I'll talk about the importance of the pitch. It is really important to communicate effectively so you get your point across and generate interest from the angel investors. It must be presented in a way that is really easy to understand and there's no doubt or any sort of questions of doubt in your presentation. Second, know your stuff. The pitch must answer these essential questions. What is it? What is the product or service you're trying to offer? Who will need your product or service? Where is your product and service available? Why would anybody need your product or service? How will they acquire your product or service? Third, be sure to do some research and understand the total available market and share of available market. Angel investors want to be convinced of the potential in the area you're trying to sell, and these information will be proof of that. Fourth, trustworthiness. Brett and other angel investors are looking for people who know their stuff and are 100% trustworthy and genuine. They are risking their own money in your business venture, so naturally they want you to be trustworthy and genuine so that you won't just take off with their money. Fifth, demonstrate willingness to work hard. Being trustworthy doesn't guarantee any returns. People that are willing to work hard and go the extra mile are usually the ones who will make profits. When Brett and other angel investors evaluate people, they look for integrity. Character is often revealed in the smallest actions, not only in the big ones, and is often reflected in the pitch itself. Angel investors will usually lose interest if they get the sense that you don't know your material or market and or embellishing the facts. They look for people who are honest about what they know and what they don't know. Be sure to communicate on what it is you need from the angel investors, whether the specific amount of funding is required, or if it's for their knowledge and resources or networks. With that, what are you willing to provide to the angel investors as repayment?
Thanks, Daniel. Brett Wilson's article articulates on seeing value in the individual. This includes honesty, integrity, hard work, and also having a good business sense. Throughout the course, we have learned about environmental and social entrepreneurs who most often display these types of values. They receive angel investment from mostly friends and family. For example, Tom Zaki, who started TerraCycle with investment from family and friends, illustrated a great passion for his product, and his main focus was not money. TerraCycle is now a very successful company and is known as one of the coolest little startups in America. Social entrepreneurs can also be angel investors themselves. In the case of Mohammed Yunus, who started a global microcredit institution, is also considered as an angel investor for many small businesses throughout developing countries. The majority of his customers display a strong work ethic and operate successful businesses. I would also consider Brett to be a social entrepreneur because he looks at more than just money when deciding whether to invest or not to invest, and more so looks at the values displayed in the entrepreneur. Now I'll pass it on to Noelle, who will talk more on angel investors.
So we've discussed in Unit 5 that there are many different sources of funding options that's available out there, one of them being angel investors. So who are angel investors and what makes them unique? Angel investors are typically high net worth individuals who provide capital or seed funding to support startup business ventures. Many of them tend to be retired entrepreneurs or executives who are not only interested in financial returns but also are passionate about entrepreneurship in general. Angels usually offer favorable terms and are willing to provide more than just capital funding, unlike other options. As most of them are also interested in business development, they tend to provide mentorships for many startup entrepreneurs. So what makes angels unique? As Brett Wilson's article states, many lenders look for reasons not to do the deal and say no, where angels look for reasons to say yes. They are highly interested in the startup phase of business ventures, therefore making them more risk tolerant than other funding options. They also place high emphasis on the entrepreneur itself, whether it's their capabilities, their skills, and their character as a person. Brett mentioned this when he looks for people and when he makes investment decisions, he actually looks for people who know their stuff, who is trustworthy, and who's willing to work hard. Angels are more likely to be involved with the venture itself, especially in the early stage of development. They also tend to bring their experience, contacts, and professional mentorship and strategic advice. The typical investments made by angels can range in the amount of anywhere from $50,000 to $750,000. Angel investors will bridge the gap between startup financing needs that many startup entrepreneurs aren't able to secure through the commercial banks or via venture capitalists.
There are other financial instruments that can be utilized to start a business. I will discuss the more well-known and widely used sources and compare them to angel financing. I will start with self-financing. The first place to look when starting a business is right in the mirror. You'll need to consider savings, RSPs, home equity, or even selling off some assets. The cost is low and there's zero loss of company control, unlike angel financing where the cost is low, but there is a high degree of company control. The second option is financing through government programs. For this option, you'll need to submit an in-depth business plan to your financial institution. This plan is the main focus of a lending application and would, in essence, be the elevator pitch of angel financing. While it might be tedious to complete, it forces entrepreneurs to think about items they may not have considered. For example, their competition. The cost is low and there's minimal loss of company control. Another option is financing it through commercial banks. The bank will lend against the company's borrowing ability, which is only offered for established businesses, or solely on the assets of the business or entrepreneur. The cost would be high, but there would be relatively minimal loss of control. In contrast to angel financing, commercial financing for startups is only available if there are substantial assets to hold as security. Finally, the fourth option is generating funds through venture capitalists. Cost and loss of company control are both high due to the risks of investing in early-stage businesses. Only certain industries qualify, and a $1 to $2 million transaction would be the minimum. Angel financing fills in the gap between seed financing and venture capital.
Thanks, Adrian. The pitch is an entrepreneur's first chance to share with an investor what their idea or product is. It is important that you know your stuff inside and out and are able to communicate your passion so that some of that passion rubs off on them. Your values as an entrepreneur can also help you to get that financing you need. When you're passionate about your idea or product and aren't doing it just for the money, you're more likely going to be willing to work hard and open to learning along the way. Both the pitch and your values as an entrepreneur can help the angel investors look for a reason to say yes and focus on people first. Angel investors are more risk tolerant than other lenders and place a higher emphasis on entrepreneurs' capabilities and character. Whatever type of financing you decide to pursue as an entrepreneur, you will need to make a trade-off between the relative cost of the financing and the amount of control you're willing to give up. That's it from Team 5, and thanks for your time today.